Hi, so we are configuring NAT and Firewall on an ASA device. We have 6 different security levels to be assigned on the guest network, administrative staff network, production staff network, IT staff network, DMZ services, and the internet services. The network policy required for the configuration of these levels is as given in the assignment. Now, for the ASA device, we have configured the interfaces as follows. We can see from the configuration, interface gigabit 00 with the IP address security level 0 and interface name. We've done that for the remaining interfaces as required by the network policy and also the topology we have. And then we can view this interface, the IP of these interfaces here. Sorry. Yeah, we can see the interfaces and the IP addresses. Now, NAT was also configured by creating a network group and adding the network objects that are required to connect to the internet services. You can view this object group here too by doing show object group. Now we can see the 4 networks which we want to connect to the internet services. This will configure NAT. And then extended access lists were also created to limit the protocols required by the network policy. So these are the access lists. You can see the access list for the interfaces and the protocols and the IPs they are to limit. And then an object network was also created for NAT to do static mapping on the ASA device for any IP on the internet interface accessing the web server on the DMZ. So we can see that by doing this command. Web server ON is the object ID, and you can see the object network and you can see the host, which is our DMZ services. Now let's do some testing. So on the guest network, we'll try to see if we can get a web access into the internet services. Call 172.16.1.90, so there is access. So try to see if we can get access to the DMZ, which we're not supposed to, and it's taking time, so I guess I don't think there's any connection. So let's see if we can ping a particular network. Let's try IT 10.150.40.10. There should be no response. And yep, that verifies it. So let's check for administrative staff. So we'll see if we can get a web access into the internet services. There is access. So let's try for the DMZ services. There is also access. So let's see if we can ping IT just to verify that there is no connection to the local internal networks. Yeah, and that's taking time. There is no access. So let's go for production staff. So we'll try to see if we can get a web access to the DMZ as required in the network policy. Yes, there is access. So let's see if we can get access to the internet services. There is no access. Let's see if we can ping any of the local network. Let's try IT. there is no access to. There should be no access. So that confirms that. So let's check for the IT, which should have access to all protocol access to all of the network, internet services, DMZ, and internal network. So let's first try with internet services. There is network. Let's try for the DMZ. There is also network. Let's try to ping the local network. So we'll try for guest. And there is access. So let's try for administrative staff network. There is also access. Let's try for production staff. There is also access. So which means this confirms our policy here. So we'll try to see if our internet-based host can access the DMZ. So let's try to see if we can call or get a web access to the interface, outside interface. There is access. And let's see if we can get inside or if there's any communication inside. That's taking time and there should be no connection. And there is no connection. Let's try and see if we can ping the outside interface. Of course there is connection. So that concludes our test and verifies our configuration. Thank you very much.